I always hear a lot of Africans always say that the reason why the continent, I mean, I was going to say some of the countries, but the continent itself is where it is because of the people running the place. And you think to yourself, the people running the place should have the best interest of their own people. That's what you would think. But clearly that's not the case. I mean, Congo, just one country in the whole of Africa, has enough resources where almost the whole world needs. And it's like, how is it possible that you have all these countries in the continent of Africa with all these resources, gold, copper, myrrh, cobalt, all these things which the world needs? Because if you look at Europe compared to Africa, it's not even a comparison. Africa has so much resources still to this day. Europe is just like a wasteland. But if you look at how the nations are run in comparison, it is mad, completely mad. And one of the things which I kind of wanted to discuss, and one of the reasons why I think a lot of this is the case, is because of something that I came across in regards to, I suppose, the difference between whiteness or Eurocentrism and Afrocentrism. And I've heard this a lot. Now, this was kind of debunked, but I just want to get your take on this because there's a few things on here which I thought, this is actually what Black people think. This is actually what a lot of them actually hold true. And I've got zero clue as to why that is the case. So bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to try and show. Let's see if I can do this. All right. Let's see if I can share my screen. Give me a second. Because it's always interesting. I really want to break this down. So let me share the screen. All right, see what it does. All right, so one of the things which I've picked up on, which I saw, again, take this with a pinch of salt. That's what I'm going to say to you. But this was one of the things which had been deemed as white culture. So these are the things which is one of the reasons why, again, a lot of pro-Black movements fail, because we fail our people based on this crap rhetoric. So I'm just going to go through a couple of these things and let me know what your thoughts are. So one of these things is rugged individualism. So this is the individual is the primary unit, self-reliance, independence, and autonomy, highly valued and rewarded. Individuals soon to be in control of their enrollment. You get what you deserve. Again, a contrast to what a lot of pro-Black people believe in when it comes to socialism, which is the collective. Now, there are arguments for and against for that one. However, it is interesting how when it comes to a lot of this individuality, what we try and do is almost like victimhood. So because we don't like individuality, what it leaves in my hand is victimhood, whereas we're a victim because of a collective, as opposed to, look, we can individually break out of these chains. Now, the family structure, which, to be fair to you, I don't see this as a white trait. A nuclear family, father, mother, 2, 3 children is the ideal social unit. Husband is a breadwinner. I don't see that as necessarily a white trait, but it's just interesting how that is put down there in regards to assumptions of white culture, which is not just, I suppose, United States centric, but Eurocentric. When it comes to emphasis of scientific method, this is a big one, what I saw. Objective, rational, linear thinking, cause and effect relationship, quantitative emphasis. Now, I'm sorry. If that is what's considered white culture, I have in no mind as to why a lot of these Black countries, a lot of these Black people are the way they are. Because in order for you to be successful, you need objective, rational, linear thinking. You can't be emotional, which unfortunately a lot of us are. We can't not be thinking clearly, which a lot of us don't. We can't not be thinking about cause and effect relationship, which a lot of us don't. And quantitative emphasis, which is about what? Statistics, which is about what do the numbers say? And this is another thing that Black people don't like to just talk about, the numbers. We like to talk about rhetoric all the time, but what do the numbers and the facts say? That's one of the things which I looked at, thought, this is crazy. And let me go to the next screen here, because religion, Christianity is the norm. Now, this is a stream I'm going to do on Friday, talking about religion, because I've got a lot to say on that. I've got a hell of a lot to say on that. So you think I got a lot to say on this? I got a hell of a lot to say on the religion, because religion is one of the most controversial topics which I need to get, I just need to get on the hood under. So I'll be looking forward to your contributions to see what you guys say. Status, power, and authority. Wealth equals worth. Your job is who you are. Respect to authority. Heavy value and ownership of goods, space, and property. Now, again, I don't see this necessarily as a white trait, but again, all these things which, let's be honest, is how the world is run. I don't care if it's a white, Chinese people do the same thing. They're trying to usurp the white man, if you like, when it goes to their countries. I can't see how this is assumption of whiteness, but this is what we sort of plant into our head. Again, from that socialist mindset to a capitalist mindset. We don't like capitalism. Apparently, capitalism is racial. So guess what? This is what happens. We have this socialist mindset, and that leads to poverty. And it leads to, with a lot of these pro-black movements, the head get all the money in regards to whether the leaders get all the money, and it doesn't get distributed evenly, even though that's supposed to happen. You see all the time with all these pro-black leaders. This is how a lot of these things get exposed. They get fraud because they scam the people out of your hard-earned money, and then they use it to fund their lifestyle where you get nothing. And future orientation, all my days, plan for the future, delay gratification. I talked about this on a live stream before, how black people stereotypically, again, not all, stereotypically, don't like the word delay gratification. Whenever they get an extra bit of money, what happens? They spend it on things they don't need. Expensive clothes, maybe expensive cars. And a lot of times, let's be honest, a lot of these things aren't even paid for outright nowadays. It's credit. Credit has killed a lot of people. I'm just going to be honest with you. That plan for the future, with credit, you're fucked. Just going to let you know, with credit, you are fucked. And a lot of us now don't understand that concept. Even to this day, even I've been burnt by it. I ain't going to lie. But delay gratification, planning for the future is the key. Because at the end of the day, there is always, I say it's always going to be tomorrow, but there's likely to be maybe a tomorrow in your timeline. Tomorrow turns in from days, it turns to weeks, from weeks it turns into year. And before you know it, 10 years down the line, you got nothing to show for all the money you spent for, except for some nice clothes, et cetera, which you can hang up on the wall. And sometimes it may not even fit. And time, follow rigid time schedules. Again, every single black country I've been to, there's always seems to be this viewpoint about black people not coming on time to things. I'm like, I thought this was just sometimes. I was like, is this a really universal thing? Yes, it is. I've heard Lagos time, when I was in Jamaica time, but black people time, colored people time. Every single black culture seems to have this viewpoint of, by being on time, that's white. Like going to parties. I remember, and this was funny, because I was invited to a work party, and this was online during the pandemic. And here's me rocking up 35 to 45 minutes late, thinking I'm going to be fashionably late because nobody is going to be coming here on time. I tell you this right now, and I swear down, I'm not even lying. I was the last person there at half an hour after the time it's scheduled. I'm like, what? That's what white people do. They ain't wasting no time because time is a commodity. These are things that we as people need to really understand. But this is what we've been teaching our people, that all these things which help us for the future is a white Eurocentric viewpoint. Bullshit. That is what it takes to be number one. That's what it takes to win at all costs. That's why these groups have the power that they do. We can argue about other things, but I do believe this. This is why we don't have the power that we should have, because we view these things as white in nature. How the hell can we view being on time as a white thing? But we all see it all the time. You go to a party, black people, they ain't turn up on time. We see it all the time when it comes to all kinds of occasions. It follows through in life. When it comes to our jobs, we're late on time. We're late, we're not on time, which is viewed as what? Disrespectful, because we don't like to respect leadership and authority. All of these things play through as to why we are where we are. And this is why these pro-black rhetoric, this pro-black talk, everything seems to be against all these things which have been proven for our history to be, guess what, the number one reason why these groups are on top. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys, just to let you know some of the BS that I've seen in regards to some of these pro-black thinking, these anti-racist thinking. It's like, it's a mad one. It's just a complete mad one. So I don't know what to even say on that kind of stuff. It's just crazy.